All right, all right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hot Seat Automotive Podcast. Your buddy CJ here. We're talking about all things related to the automotive industry, car guy stuff, cars. This is the home of Real Gearhead Talk. Real Gearhead Talk. You know that here in Hot Seat Automotive Podcast, your buddy CJ together with you, we love talking about exotic cars and classic cars and what's going on in the automotive industry and automotive themed events and all those things that really comprise this hobby and make it the great thing that it is. Guys, welcome back. Certainly to all my subscribers. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. If you're a newcomer, if you're a guest, welcome. All car guys and car girls are welcome here. I ask that you leave me a like and subscribe. Please consider leaving me comments as well. You know your buddy CJ will respond to all the comments that I can, time allowing. But guys, let's get right into it. This weekend is Super Bowl weekend here. And let me tell you something. What are we doing for the Super Bowl? We're talking about cars. Let me tell you something. I could care less about that game. Come on. Real talk. Guys, leave me comments. Are you a football fan? You care about the game? Like if you're like me, like I grew up playing football and watching football and being a football fan. I was a huge football fan and player, and as a kid with the video games and high school football and all those things. But over the years, I'm just played out on it. Like I can't sit there and watch a lot of football anymore. It just doesn't interest or entertain me. I have better things that I want to do. But guys, leave me comments if you're a huge football fan. If you're rooting hard for Kansas City or for San Francisco, leave me your comments, car guys. Let's get into it. And specifically, what I wanted to talk about today, in all seriousness, is a related topic: Super Bowl ads and commercials related to the automotive industry. Car guy commercials. What's going to capture our attention during the Super Bowl beyond the action on the field and the halftime show and all this nonsense? Who cares about that, right, car guys? What we're interested in are the ads from some of our favorite manufacturers. So what are manufacturers like Ford, Chevy, Audi, Ferrari? Ferrari don't advertise. Toyota, Honda, BMW, fill in the blank, Lotus. What kind of advertisements are they having at this year's Super Bowl? And the answer is, folks, not a lot. So for Super Bowl weekend and during the Super Bowl, I want to talk about some of the ads that we can expect to see as car guys. Specifically, we know exactly what they are. There are four. There are four ads in the Super Bowl related to the automotive industry and car guy stuff. So they're available. They're out there. Your buddy CJ is going to give you his exclusive review and perspective on the four ads in the Super Bowl related to cars. And I'd love to hear your comments and hear what you think about it as well. So let's get into this. Guys, I'm going to stack rank these four Super Bowl ads sort of from worst to best, in my view. Again, there are only four ads in the 2024 Super Bowl related to cars and trucks and car guy stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to stack rank them from worst to best. There are only four. We're going to talk about why your buddy CJ thinks these are good, bad, or indifferent. And I'm going to give you sort of my thoughts on them. I want to hear yours. Give me your comments. Here we go. Kia. Kia is one of four companies, automotive industry companies, that are actually advertising in this year's Super Bowl. And what you're looking at here is the Telluride, I believe, an EV. Guys, this one I'm going to categorize in the tearjerker category. The Kia 2024 Super Bowl commercial is a tearjerker. And I don't want to give you too much of a spoiler, but real talk, I got to give it to you straight. And then you watch the commercial, let me know what you think. It's more about a story than it is the vehicle. It's more about, I'll say, the approach to this Kia commercial, in my view, is kind of like vanilla blanket. What do I mean by that? It's a vanilla blanket. It's meant to appeal to, I think, a very broad audience in a very warm and fuzzy way, dare I say. And it's kind of generic tearjerker, like going to grab your attention because of a story, not so much about the product. And I think real talk here for a moment, oftentimes, and you'll maybe capture a lot of eyes, but is this going to turn on us, the car guy community? Maybe they're not targeting the car guy community, but I say no. I say generally it's a feel good little story that they've woven into this 60-second commercial or whatever it is, and it's a bit of a tearjerker and it plays on our emotions. But it's one of these things that's intended not to specifically target car guys. Yeah, let's go buy that brand, that vehicle because it excites me and pulls me in terms of being a product. That's not the case. I think what we've got here is almost a lifestyle, a family-oriented message, a lifestyle-oriented message with a vehicle tie-in. I'm not going to say the vehicle doesn't play a part. It does. The Kia is there. It's front and center. But what takes even more of the spotlight is the story about this little girl and her father and her grandfather. So tearjerker, I rank it number 4 from a car guy standpoint. Listen, if you're a marketing guru and an ad sales guru, maybe you feel differently. Leave me comments. But, your buddy CJ speaking for the car guy community, yeah, I could take or leave this commercial. So anyway, that's the Kia commercial. Guys, let's keep going. Because I think, we've got 4 ads at this year's Super Bowl. And next one I'm going to go with to show you guys, because here on Hot Seat Automotive Media, we look at these things together. And Toyota's one of the 4 automotive manufacturers that actually have an ad in this year's Super Bowl. I like this commercial. This commercial's okay. This is really promoting the Tacoma. And I believe Tacoma's got a facelift. It's got some updates, so on and so forth. You can see this guy's face. They did target the market. Let's be blunt. Can we have some real talk today on Super Bowl weekend? Come on, be real. There's a lot of car guys and truck guys watching this game. Thank you, Toyota, for being willing to go after sort of that core target market, the backbone, if you will, of NFL fandom and of car guy and truck guy culture. Absolutely. They hit the mark from that aspect, but I'll say they also, they didn't do anything really innovative and mind-blowing. I'll say this was a cool commercial, and I chuckled when I watched it, and I say, yeah, go get them. Go get them. Toyota Tacoma. Let's go tacos. I mean, it was cool from that perspective, and I think it will capture the attention of truck guys and car guys and Toyota fans and automotive enthusiasts in general. So yeah, this one's for us, folks. Having said that, it lacks some of the innovation. It kind of went with a trope, a long-standing, look, truck guy, get her done, off-road, grab on, hold on, and shut up, and let's go for a drive. Like, there was some of that going on, which is fine. It's fun and kind of cool. And Toyota, good for Toyota. I think this is a cool commercial from a car guy standpoint, from a truck guy standpoint. Will it appeal to the broader masses? I don't know. Whereas Kia went, I think, for that warm blanket, let's try to cover everybody. Toyota, no doubt, was targeting the car guy, truck guy, automotive enthusiast market here. And I think that's kind of cool. Guys, let's keep going. Who's having fun? Who's having more fun than us on Super Bowl weekend? We don't care about that damn game. Come on. Be real. Car guys want to talk about cars. We don't care if it's Super Bowl Sunday or Easter Sunday. We're going to talk about cars. And that's what we do here, guys. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. This is all in good fun. You guys know. And I'm appreciative for each and every one of you. Let's keep going. All right, guys. BMW. Go BMW. BMW, I'm going to put them at number 2 on my list. There's only 4 ads from automotive manufacturers in the Super Bowl this year, and I'm stack ranking them for you guys. Coming in at the number 2 slot for your buddy CJ, let me know what you think, is the BMW ad featuring Christopher Walken. Are you kidding me? This one was fun. This one got me to laugh a few times. It's featuring the BMW i5 new EV. The car, listen, if you're a BMW dude, the car captures certainly, the car is right there front and center, and I think it captures the spirit and the branding and the design of BMW, so we can relate to it. I think that's totally, on point. I think there's a lot of really cool things that I liked about this commercial. It's also got the star power. You got Christopher Walken, and we all know that, Christopher Walken, I can't do his impersonation. Don't give me, guys, leave me comments. Don't make fun of my Christopher Walken impersonation. I can't do it. I'd be better off trying to impersonate that BMW than Christopher Walken. But the premise of this commercial is the Christopher Walken impersonation, and it's hysterical. You also got Usher. Hey, music fans, hip hop fans. You got Usher making a surprise appearance in this commercial. So it's really kind of cool. It's funny. BMW, I give you a lot of credit. I think the commercial's fine. I mean, this to me does get the mix right. This has the mix of the car, which is an iconic shape and design, coupled with the wittiness, the humor that we expect from a Super Bowl ad on some level. You've got the star power, the superpower of, Christopher Walken and Usher. And I think it all comes together. I'm not going to say it's the perfect Super Bowl commercial for car guys, but I am going to rank it at number 2. Solid. Guys, look out for the BMW i5 commercial with Christopher Walken and Usher. And it's kind of a blast. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, guys, we're going to keep going. We're having too much fun. I'm going to give you the number 1 Super Bowl commercial for car guys for 2024. Guys, this is it. The Super Bowl champion of car guy commercials for 2024. You heard it here first. The winner is Volkswagen. Are you kidding me? Volkswagen got it right. How did they do it, and what am I talking about here? They went with the heritage, focusing on the Beetle and kind of where the Volkswagen started. You didn't need a narrator or an actor, a star power for this commercial. They made it about the brand and the cars. They captured the history. They went through the decades. I got goosebumps watching this commercial. I enjoyed this commercial as a car guy, as a consumer. And by the way, this new thing, this Volkswagen ID EV van, are you kidding me? This thing's cool. I want to learn more about it, having seen this commercial. They tie it in. Look at this image from the commercial. The original Beetle with the innovative new EV, the Volkswagen ID. This commercial ties in the past with the current. This commercial talks about what was going on in the United States over the decades. Did you know this is the 75th anniversary of Volkswagen in the United States? And this commercial covers it all. Now, I don't get political on this show, and I won't. This is not a political show. This is a car guy show. What I will tell you is, does the commercial touch on certain narratives and present us with certain things? It probably does. Okay? I'm not getting into all that. What I will tell you, if you don't think Volkswagen was a product that was embraced by, sort of the counterculture over the years and people who felt a certain way against conventional thinking, it absolutely was and probably still is. Go back to the 60s, the 70s, the flower power era, the hippie era, and beyond. Listen, through the decades, that's been sort of the story of Volkswagen. It's about a culture. It's about a movement, various movements probably. So don't get hung up on some of that imagery. I say nothing new's under the sun. I embrace what this commercial brings to bear. The best of automotive enthusiast linkage to the past, some cool new innovative technology. Whether you're an EV fan or not doesn't matter, okay? They tied it in nicely, I thought, and also sort of the historical significance of what's going on over the decades in the past 70, 75 years, with Volkswagen being right there through the various eras. This commercial, the Volkswagen 2024 Super Bowl ad, wins. Out of the 4 manufacturers who produced a Super Bowl ad for 2024, Volkswagen comes in first, guys. So a couple of things I do want to talk about. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. Who's absent this year? I think one of the more telling aspects of Super Bowl 2024 as a car guy and thinking about the automotive industry is which manufacturers are absent. This is America's big game. Detroit, where you at? Crickets? Is this thing on? Ford, Chevrolet, Stellantis. That's Dodge, Chrysler, etc. Absent. What a shame. What a shame. It actually makes me sad. I said it. Guys, leave me comments. Let me know what you think. No Ford, no Chevy, no Stellantis, Dodge, Chrysler, what have you, represented at America's big game. They want to spend their advertising dollars elsewhere. You know what your buddy CJ says? Open letter to Ford, Chevy, and Dodge and Stellantis. Your buddy CJ's looking right at you and talking to you. You hear me? I'll come closer. If you're not spending money on a Super Bowl ad to target a game and a sport where a lot of car guys are tuned in, where the hell are you spending your advertising dollars? I'm not saying that they have to have a Super Bowl ad. Maybe they have the master plan. Okay, and they're doing better and greater things. I'd love to hear about it. But I'll be honest with you, Stellantis pulling back significantly on auto shows. Auto shows aren't what they used to be. What are you doing for the betterment of your brand? Okay, for messaging your core, the car guys that have built this hobby and want to learn more about new products. If we don't, then we're not. And we'll probably look elsewhere. Ford, Chevy, Dodge, what's wrong with you? If you're not making a commitment, and by the way, they're not advertising in the Super Bowl. Okay, what are you doing is my question. I'm not saying that would necessarily be a game changer, but Kia's taking advantage of it. Volkswagen had, from my perspective, one of the commercials of the year from an automotive standpoint. Toyota did a good job. BMW did an incredible job. Y'all are absent. Y'all missing out. That's my view anyway. Guys, a couple other things. In talking about all this, who remembers some of the great car guy Super Bowl commercials of old? You know who got it right? You know who had some great old Super Bowl commercials? Audi. Audi in the R8, going back to, I believe, 2008 and then 2016. 2008 was that Godfather-themed R8 commercial, really kind of cool. I think captured a lot of attention, really drew you in. And then the car, listen, when the R8 came out, was mind-blowing. I don't think this design, this aesthetic for me has not aged terribly well, but it was extremely exciting as a car guy back then when it came out. Also what they did with, the Commander commercial, I think it was in 2016, when Audi had sort of the retired space astronaut whose son brought him the keys to the R8 and he took off in it. And it was just, that one drew you in. That one was cool. But so no Audi this year, no Audi at the Super Bowl. There's Volkswagen, but no Audi. How do you like that? BMW's out there, but no Audi. So anyway, got me thinking about Audi and some industry news related to the R8. Did you know, now the R8 was supposed to be done. Manufacturing for the Audi R8 was supposed to be done in 2023. It's still here, still going strong. They're making the R8s in 2024. Did you know that? I didn't. Word on the street is that the R8 production will continue until March of 2024, so through Q1. So, and also the other thing I want to tell you is they sold a lot of R8s in 2023 compared to what they had been selling. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. Audi R8 sales in the U.S. were up over 100% in 2023. What does that mean? That means there's demand for a vehicle like this, people. Automotive industry, you there? I'm talking to you, industry leaders. How about a little intestinal fortitude? If the demand is there and the consumer wants a car like the Audi R8, the time has come to stand up in the face of a certain narrative, in the face of emerging regulation globally, not just in the United States, globally, across jurisdictions and municipalities and various agencies. We need to push back automotive industry a bit. Look at Toyota coming out and saying, listen, we'll produce some EVs. We're also going to look at alternative fuels. We're going to look more at advanced hybrids. What about synthetic fuels like Porsche is looking into? We can't just give in and say, yeah, EV is the right solution. Mr. Toyoda, the chairman of Toyota, came out and said it. I think this guy knows a thing or two about the automotive industry. He's been wildly successful, and Toyota is the number one automotive manufacturer in the world. Mr. Toyoda said he doesn't see EV adoption realistically going above 30% globally. Be real, you know? So let me bring it back to the Audi R8. Audi, I'd love to see you keep going with this thing. Who remembers the e-tron? Let's not forget, history tends to repeat itself. Real talk. Audi R8 e-tron, the electric Audi. I think this came out in 2015, only in Europe. That's what we're looking at here. This thing was a flop with a capital F. This thing was a commercial failure with a capital F. Real talk. So we could say a lot of things about this. The price point was too high. The way they marketed it. You can only buy this, I think, from the corporate office. You couldn't buy it in the dealerships. You couldn't configure one, online or anything like that. And it was a super rich guy car. Your average Audi buyer could not afford one of these. Real talk. But this thing was a flop. They made like 100 of these. So listen, I think in 2024, 2025, the market's a little bit more open and interested in an EV version of the R8. Let's see it. Bring it out, Audi. We'd all love to see it. Perhaps an e-tron R8 Part 2. Listen, having said that, I think automotive industry, we got to push back a bit. We got to get on board with what Mr. Toyoda is saying, which is that there's reality, there's what's good for business, there's consumer demand. Let's pull these things together. Let's do right for the environment, but not at the cost of business, reasonableness, not at the cost of profitability, not at the cost of just good, sound decisions and practicality. We've got to operate in the realm of practicality, automotive industry. So guys, that's a bit from your buddy CJ. Super Bowl weekend. This was the top 4 automotive industry ads coming out on the Super Bowl. Now, having said that, there's only 4. So it's the top 4. It's also the 4. But your buddy CJ ranked them. What do you guys think? Leave me your comments. Please give me a like and subscribe. You know your buddy CJ loves you. Love talking about all things automotive industry, gearhead stuff, real talk right here. Guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.